Hello, this is Ross Marquand. I'm here with Don. Want to say hi to Jimmy, Casey, Steven from the Dead Truth Podcast.
Hey, it's Casey.
It's Dawn.
And it's Steven. Welcome to the Dead Truth Podcast.
Yeah, thank y'all for joining. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. How y'all doing?
Good. Weekend wasn't long enough as usual.
So
yeah.
Jimmy's a little under the weather tonight, so he's not going to be with us.
Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, we're going to miss Jimmy, but we do have a special guest with us tonight. Let's see. All right, we got Mr. Joshua Mikel.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey.
International star. That's the international star right there.
International, huh?
Yeah,
wow. Thank you.
Of course, everybody knows him as Jared, but man, you're in so much stuff, dude. Like I'll be sitting there watching something, like one of my favorite shows too, and I'll just see you like with a speaking role and everything, and it's like you always have these memorable characters. It's crazy.
Thank you. Yeah, I get to play a lot of fun stuff, man. I get to play a lot of creeps and weirdos and dirtbags. I say dirtbags all the time. Yeah, I love it.
Now, not to jump straight into it, but do you seek those out? Do you seek out those roles, or do they just kind of fall to you?
Well, I think when I first started out, I was getting sent out. I had shorter hair, probably shorter than this, and I was getting sent out for a bunch of Army Wives and One Tree Hill. Man, my accent gets heavy when I talk to Steve every time. You bring out the Georgia in me, man.
I bring it out. Hey, you got to work on a Steven impression.
I'm like, oh yeah, oh brother, no, hey, hell no. No, yeah. But I was doing. I was getting sent for a lot of Army Wives and a lot of One Tree Hill, a bunch of different stuff that was like not so much my speed. And I had to sit down with my agent, just saying, hey, listen, I played a lot of bad guys. I kind of sought out bad, villains in college, and I always wanted to be kind of a character type. I did a bunch of student films at Florida State, and so I was always kind of cast as a weirdo. And I love those parts. I always love that kind of weirder stuff. And I mean, the Steve Buscemi's and Josh Brolin's and there's a lot of actors that I think kind of fill that role, but I'm somewhere in the middle of a Josh Brolin and Steve Buscemi type. I think Sam Rockwell is kind of a character actor I love, and he's gotten a bunch of bigger stuff, but just that sort of stuff I always kind of targeted. But yeah, not always, I guess.
Do you think you like it so much because that's like far from how you really are, man? Like you're the nicest guy. Like,
oh, thanks, man.
Totally agree.
I always like putting on a character, I guess. I don't know. I think I always just like kind of hamming it up. And a lot, especially when they're Southern guys or whatever, like, you recognize a lot of those folks and the kind of Southernisms, and it's just fun to play.
Now, have you always lived in Georgia? Or
I grew up in Conyers. Yeah, I grew up in Conyers, and then I went to school down in Tallahassee for whatever. I took an extra year, so I was down there for 5 years, and then I spent a little bit of extra time with my band when I was down there, and then 2010 I moved back to Atlanta. I lived with my parents for a little while. They put me and my then girlfriend up for a while. It's kind of a mess. But yeah, I eventually came back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about your band. I know I got to see you play at the camp. Can you talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
your love for music?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't really play with those guys too much anymore. They, it kind of became a bit more of a job than I was ready for. And I think they wanted to do music kind of more seriously. And I'd already done that. I used to be in a band called Look Mexico, and, we were constantly touring, and I played on, I think, two LPs, 3 EPs, and it was a 7-year commitment of my life. And I always kind of knew I wanted to step away and pursue acting more seriously. But when I was in that band, it's just that sliding doors thing where it's like, well, I can hop off the train. It gave me shingles, actually, from the stress of it, leaving the
Wow.
band. Because it's just such a thing you commit so much of your life to, and at a certain point you have to decide. And people feel this leaving a relationship or leaving a job, any sort of job, or any sort of thing they care about. But yeah, I left, but it helped. It didn't help, but my dad wasn't doing too well health-wise back in Atlanta, and so it was easier for me to kind of make that decision. I could, pursue acting, but also be close to home for the family.
Right.
Yeah,
That's cool, man.
yeah. It all worked out. I mean, it's working out.
Right?
It's fine. I miss playing music though, and more seriously, because you can't really commit to a tour schedule when you're auditioning for stuff, and then next thing you know, you don't know when you're going to be working.
And the COVID test too. The COVID test now.
Man, yeah, because most of the world's given up on it. I was at Home Depot today, and I may have been one of 5 or 6 people out of 100 I saw wearing masks, and because the union is still kind of taking it very seriously.
Sure.
Whether or not I was on a flight, and 50% of folks, I'd say, were wearing masks, but I was coming back from Maine. It's a weird world. We've been put through the ringer the past couple of years, and I can understand that people are tired of it, and but I also understand wanting to stay safe for your family and wanting to stay safe on at work. Yeah,
Exactly.
Definitely. So we got some fan questions. Let's see.
Hell yeah.
Barbara here, our buddy.
Hey,
She's
Barb.
she's a good friend of ours. She wants to know what's your favorite role you've ever played?
Gosh, it's tough. I mean, honestly, all time ever, I played Gollum in a high school production of The Hobbit.
No way.
And,
No way.
and it was before the movies came out, but after I had taken my kind of cues from the animated series. There's an animated movie,
Right.
and it's I was basically ripping that off. But that's kind of what I always wanted to do anyway, is just play stuff that I loved. And that was really cool. So that kind of sparked it in me to do it. And then, I mean, Jared was great, but I really loved this part I played in The Righteous Gemstones. I think I felt connected to the material, and I think I don't know if I mentioned this on a tour, Stephen, but it definitely felt like one of those situations where your brand of comedy kind of meets the writing. And growing up in the South, and I think all through high school, college, we really kind of relied on Eastbound and Down and Vice Principals comedy, and the Danny McBride humor, which is aggressive and mean, but also like self-deprecating, like stupid, man of unearned confidence is what they call it a lot of times.
Dude, that show is so funny. If anybody watching hadn't checked it out yet, definitely go watch it. It's hilarious. And what's the dude that's your buddy? Is it Keith?
Yeah, Keith.
Yeah, Keith. Yeah. There's something about the way you say his name that just cracks me up in that show.
Like, God damn, man. He's like, hey, fucking hell, Satan, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved it. Because I knew dudes like that, that came from like a real Southern family. But I don't think that's how they imagined the character originally, but just knowing that I was auditioning for that show, I took him Southern, and you know, dudes that come from a real Southern family but are into, you know, Slipknot and, you know, Insane Clown Posse. I mean, this guy's probably, he's into, you know, whatever, I don't know, darker, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know any of that, the rave culture, really, any of that stuff. But that they had this song playing when we're doing the dance. It's like, you know, Lucifer.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But it's fun. Yeah.
Let's see, Casey, you see any more of the questions here?
Got a Walking Dead question from Maria.
Yeah.
Were you a fan of The Walking Dead, you know, from the beginning of the series? Or?
Well, it's funny. During y'all's intro, I realized, you know, I've always said, yeah, but I had seen the show. I had watched 6 episodes of the show, and I don't love horror, so I had never been huge into. I had never been huge into zombie walker on TV or film. But I had loved it in comics. Like I loved drawing it. I had always loved. Yeah. I loved drawing gore. You know, because it was so punk rock to me. It was, you know, that I used to do T-shirts and stuff, and sometimes I would get the occasional punk rock T-shirt, and that was the stuff I always loved drawing. You know, entrails spilling out and fucking, you know, just gnarly stuff. But you know, seeing that comic book art, it's so rad. And I think that's really what I loved about this show, is that it came from a comic book. And so that the world, you kind of approach it in a different way. Characters are bigger. There's things that are kind of overlooked, like why isn't this character going to take a shit right now or whatever. Yeah. You know, like the kind of procedural things of your day-to-day life. You know, that stuff's gone. It's just kind of all about the grit and gore.
Right.
Yeah. But that's what I dug about. Yeah,
that's
show.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I got to meet you at the camp, and we talked at Pandemic. That was so cool, man. And I think I'm too. You know, you played such a bad. You know, Jared was such a bad dude on the show, and you know, but talking to you in person, you know, you're so nice. Do you get that a lot? You know, from fans when you meet them, or
yeah, which is nice. You know, I'm happy to know that people don't think I'm a piece of shit. I just did a reading for I did an audition earlier today, which is part of the reason why I was kind of running around, because it was like 9 pages of something, and it was another dirt bag. And for a little while I kind of pushed those roles away, thinking, I'd like to play something, you know, I'd like to be in a procedural drama or do some kind of, you know, just something where I don't get covered in dirt and blood. But then I realized, like, that's not fun. You know, I like doing these dirt bags. I like the villains. I've always loved playing villains, even, you know, in play with friends and, you know, acting around the front yard and stuff. It was always something I appealed, you know, that appealed to me.
That's funny.
Yeah.
How was it working on game night? Was that a pretty fun set to work on? I liked your character in that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was fun. You know, it's crazy because when I'm looking back on a lot of the work that I've done, I think I'm like I don't know about you, I'm a really anxious person. I'm anxious, you know, so getting on set, I just want to do the best I can. And early on, I started out kind of trying to talk to people like I was going to become their best friend, you know. You meet the first, and I think a lot of actors make this mistake. Like you want everybody to know everything about you as soon as you get there. And on that show, you know, Kyle Chandler, Jason Bateman, Jesse Plemons, Lamorne Morris, you know, and John Francis Daly, Jonathan Goldstein, who were the directors. There were so many people whose work I had already known and loved going into it, and it was hard for me not to nerd out the whole time. And it's just really difficult having those conversations, because I think it becomes very clear when you're on set, when you're, say, somebody like Jesse Plemons, who I really nerd out about. I think he's one of the better actors of our generation, and you know, to be able to talk to him and it's as a normal human being, you know, you enjoying Atlanta, whatever's going on. That was kind of difficult, I think. You know, just not making a fool of yourself, and then also trying to stay in character and do the best. One thing that was kind of funny about that show is it's a comedy, and I kind of like fancy myself a somewhat funny person occasionally, and people talk about ad-libbing when you're acting, and I ad-lib, but really I just stress out about the script so much that I'm trying to like I write, you know, I'll write, maybe if the scene goes this way, maybe I could say this, and I'll have those kind of things preloaded. It's rarely, I'd say 10% of the time is it really ad-libbing. But like, you know, if the scene happens to drag on, or if there's a beat here, I may try and add this in or whatever, which is the least organic way you could ever go about acting. But yeah, so, you know, I had some of that stuff preloaded, and the directors kept coming over to me being like, hey man, it's important for you to feel mean. Like, you have to be the bad guy, because these are the funny people. Like, these are funny. This part's not funny. It's like because we're creating an action comedy, and you know, for that thing to work well, you know, we need a true villain. We need to feel like these people are dangerous, and that's something I didn't really wrap my head around until I saw the movie, and it made so much sense to me.
Right.
Guys, I think you could be on a romantic comedy. What about you?
That's what somebody said in the comments.
Yeah. Somebody did say that.
They want you in a romantic comedy.
Yes.
Yeah,
he may have already done it.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, I've had a couple on-screen kisses, but they were, you know, I definitely, yeah, they're not.
I can see him being the ladies' man instead of the villain.
Right.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I was watching my audition back earlier today, and I was like, "Do I have a lazy? I got a lazy eye. Do I have a lazy eye?" And like that just immediately cuts you out all the rom-coms. I'm not gonna be yeah.
Now, are your auditions online, or, you know, with the times now?
Yeah, it's all self-tape stuff. So today I went over to my friend Tyner's house, and she helped me. Cool. Tyner's actually killing it, by the way. Tyner Rushing is her name. She's an Atlanta actor, but she's currently in Under the Banner of Heaven with Andrew Garfield. It's a Hulu show. And
Monica just started watching that. She said it was really good.
Oh, okay.
Good. Yeah, she plays John Smith's wife, I think, in the flashback stuff. And then she's also in a show called The Terminal List with Chris Pratt. That'll be coming out on Amazon a little bit later.
Oh, cool.
I think in a couple months. But yeah, she's burning it up. I mean, that's the cool thing lately too, is that the Atlanta market is kind of rising to the occasion, and there's so much going on here, and folks are really you know, really appreciating Atlanta actors and Atlanta talent, and they're getting a lot of good opportunities.
I hear that a lot too.
Oh yeah. It's been great.
Has all your work been in the Atlanta area, or have you gotten to do any traveling for film, man? Well,
yeah, I mean, mostly the Southeast. I worked at one time in Vancouver for something called 50 States for Fright, for that ill-fated Quibi.
Oh, the app, yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like kind of short segments, kind of targeting folks that would be on a subway train or whatever in between, you know, sitting down to watch an episode, and really nobody was in for that content. They'd rather watch TikTok or Instagram or whatever. So I did that, and then I worked Independence Day Resurgence, which also was ill-fated for different reasons. But I think, namely, actually, if anybody has seen Independence Day Resurgence, I think the problem with that movie is that they didn't move to their next best piece after they knew they weren't going to get Will Smith back, which would be Jeff Goldblum. Centered the movie around Jeff Goldblum, man.
Yeah,
which would have been awesome. Right. But they were trying to, you know, reinvigorate reinvigorate it and turn it into some franchise film. And then everything else in the Southeast. So Gemstone shot in Charleston, I did one of my first films. Well, We're the Millers up in Wilmington. I've done a bunch of stuff in Louisiana.
That's so cool.
Yeah, a couple things in Shreveport.
So, what's your favorite town though that you filmed in?
I mean, I love filming at home. I love going to Louisiana. I love going to New Orleans. But it was funny. I just finished this movie called Renfield, and my stuff is small change in it. But because of needing to shoot an exterior and then shooting the interior stuff and then coming back for another little bit, they had to space out our schedule. And every time I'd go down to New Orleans, I'd fall off of any sort of diet I had, any sort of,
right.
And and so, you get down there, you eat and drink, you gain 5 pounds, come back, continue that up here, and then go back. And then, it just turned into a complete piece of shit. So by the first, what they got me in and then what I ended up in, I probably had gained, I think, 15 pounds from start to finish of that film, which, it didn't really matter. For this character wears kind of like loose fitting clothes, but I was, I just couldn't, I don't understand how people live down there.
Right.
Yeah.
Those beignets are amazing. Woo.
Yeah.
So what's going on with Josh's Garage, man? I see we got some fans of Josh's Garage in the comments.
Oh, hell yeah. I was just at my mom's last weekend and this last weekend, and I went down there to look at it.
No, I was just saying, for those who don't know, he's got on his YouTube channel, he's got these hilarious videos called Josh's Garage.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. And I'm fixing up a 67 Mustang Fastback, which my dad passed in 2018, left it behind. It was kind of his passion project. He never got to, so I wanted to take care of it and started working on it. I've gotten pretty far. I've mostly got all the metal work done, and then I got into this house, and in kind of my dad's footsteps, he would have done a lot of the work himself or knew how to do a lot of the work. So I kind of took on a lot of the work here. That's still not finished. So I basically at this point, I think I've taken about a year and a month off of working on the Mustang, which is frustrating, but that's just the way things. I still haven't done my taxes, guys. I got to.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a mess. Things are, really, I should be doing my taxes right now.
Right.
Podcast, but I just doing anything I can to avoid it. So if you got any other podcasts you want to pass me along to,
Right.
Yeah.
Wesley's got a question here. What got you into acting?
I started doing it in high school. I had a teacher that kind of, saw me acting out in class, I guess. And I mean, to be honest, I don't think there's a lot. I think he was trying to do a production of Grease and needed more men for the ensemble. And so next thing I know, I'm on stage rolling tires around with one of my best friends. And, then that led to The Hobbit. And then I got sucked in and
Nice.
went to theater. I went to Florida State for theater and creative writing. I thought I was, and I still think I'm gonna, hopefully end out my life as a writer.
Very cool. Yeah.
30 years down the line, or
Right.
30 years plus down the line. Hopefully not anytime soon. But I started doing it in high school.
That's
You working
cool.
on anything now? Like writing wise?
No, not really. I mean, I always have ideas. Trying to think. I had an animated film that I was working on and a werewolf movie I was working on. But all that stuff, it takes ethic, and it's so much easier to. And auditions come so infrequently or irregularly that you end up focusing on that, and it kind of takes an entire day a lot of times, and you don't know. It's hard to develop a writing schedule around auditioning. That sounds like an excuse, because it is. Because just writing is hard. Writing is hard. You just have to be decent about sitting down and saying, all right, I got 5 minutes. I'm gonna write half a page or whatever.
That's why you said 30 years. That way, in 30 years, you won't feel like moving. You can just sit there and write all day.
That's the idea, I think. Yeah, that is really the idea. You just build on stuff, and I've written plays and stuff, and I want to write more kids plays. I like writing children's theater because anything can happen in those things, and nobody asks any questions. It's not like, why did this character pull out a elephant out of his back pocket? And it's like, yeah, no, he can. It's children's theater. It's cartoonish. Yeah.
Right.
What role have you played that you're most proud of?
I don't know. I was thinking the other day that I'm just getting to the point in my career where I'm excited about, because I think so much of your early work is insecurity, like I was talking about on game night, just trying to do the best you can. And then you get to a point where I think you're taking chances because one thing or another is fulfilled. And, that for me is maybe turning a corner in full-time acting. So it feels less desperate to me. So now I don't know. I don't know if I'm super proud of anything I've done. Even that, like my Jared, I loved shooting the Jared death episode or whatever, but I don't love the work. I'm not happy with what I did there, and there's a lot of stuff that I regret. I'm amazed that I still have. I'm still able to work. Yeah, and thanks. But it really is that. I think I'm just getting to the point where, because people talk about acting as listening, and that's really hard to do when you're nervous, or when you're anxious about, performance anxiety also happens on set.
Right.
And it's just, it'll wreck you. But I think I'm getting to the point where I'm, doing some better work, I think. And I hope to continue that. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about getting good auditions too. Sometimes you get stuff and you really respond to it in the writing, and you love the writers. And I've heard this, you hear this, and so often I think as a young actor, you're like, I'll take anything that's offered to me. I want to work with anybody. And then eventually you get to a point where it's like, okay, now it's time to narrow down that, that taste and target stuff that I really respond to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think you're amazing because that emotion people have with that character, that they hated that character, you bring that out in people. I think that's amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah. And a lot of people in the comments were saying the same thing. You killed it, and yeah.
Well, it's funny to me because I feel like everybody has that in them to be a complete piece of shit. But I know I do, and I just assume that everybody else knew how to do that. Like,
right.
You do. I think you do.
No, you just channel it well.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Which do you have to? Is there something that inspired? Because you are such a nice guy. Is there something that inspired?
Were you like a dick? Were you a dick growing up, and now you're a nice guy? Because
I mean, everybody is, aren't they?
Yeah, right.
Everybody's got a dark side.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think you go through. I think it's just being honest with yourself about who you are. And, so when and a lot of that comes out, I've talked about this before, a lot of that comes out, like when you're in a car, and you're like, fuck that motherfucker, fuck that piece of shit motherfucker, fuck you motherfucker, fuck you motherfucker, you piece of shit motherfucker, yeah, I fuck you, you burn in hell, you fucking piece of shit. That's, you're trying to merge too late, you piece of shit. Right. Oh no, I'm not gonna let you merge. And you got a Land Rover, you fucking piece of shit. Fucking mama bought that for you, you piece of shit. Fuck you. That's the way I feel. I'm terrible in the car.
That's true. That is very true. I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
So you channel your road rage, then, is what you're saying.
But not really. That thing exists inside me. I have deep anger for a lot of things in this world. Deep. Anger issues, and it's funny because I realized, like, oh, y'all didn't grow up with this? Oh, okay, all right, tight. Like, because my dad was an angry person, and you know, like that doesn't help things. But then the thing I always talk about is like, you know, people always kind of know what it feels like to be treated poorly, and you know, so if you know that, you know how that person made you feel, and then you remember what they did to make you feel that way most of the time, and so a lot of that is channeling that shit, and like, you don't have to go too far to meet a piece of shit. Like, there's a lot of piece of shits out here, and like you show up at a bar, you fucking, oh yeah, that guy's a piece of shit. You're in the vicinity of a piece of shit, you know it. And so yeah, I've come across many.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
yeah.
Just use those guys.
I think we reached our F-bomb limit for the.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
We ain't got no F-bomb limit. I don't think.
Nah, I don't think so. We're just kidding. We're just because we were just talking about last week about we were all surprised that AMC had that 2 F-bomb limit. You know, they didn't have that when we were growing up. You know.
Yeah, well, it's funny too. I sat next to the guy who played. His name is Kane. Not next to him, but I went to a con last weekend. Not last weekend, weekend before last. And the guy Kane, whatever his face is, that played Jason Voorhees.
Oh
yeah.
Kane Hodder, I think.
What's his name?
Hodder, maybe Kane.
Yeah,
Hodder?
I think so. Yeah, exactly. Really nice guy. But I just remember. Sorry, this is tangential, but I remember watching USA when I was a kid. Not watching USA, fearing USA network after 9 p.m. or whatever, after 8 p.m. when they start showing those scary movies.
Yes.
And to the point where I couldn't even catch a glimpse of. I would go from channel. It was channel 35 in Georgia, and so you go from 34. You go 34, 35, 36. Like, just try not to catch a glimpse of that motherfucker, because it would always be Jason Voorhees or Hellraiser or whatever. I hated that shit. My brother. Yeah, exactly. Just terrifying shit that no child should be seeing. But for some reason, they just blasted it on the same network that they played cartoons on all day.
Right?
Yeah. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, my parents, back in the old VHS days when you would rent the movies and record them, and you could fit about 3 movies on a tape.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up a big Star Wars fan,
Totally.
So 6 years. But the problem was Amityville was the movie in the beginning of the tape. Or no, Amityville. They recorded Amityville after Star Wars. So I would watch Star Wars, and as soon as the credits start rolling, I'd start crying because I knew Amityville was about to come on.
Oh no! What a tragic joke!
Right? Yeah. That's messed up, dude. Man.
I still have the tapes. My dad made a book called The Great Movie Book, and he did that same thing. He would go rent 5 or 6 movies from Blockbuster.
Right.
Wouldn't even watch them, record them to his own tapes, and then log them in the book. So I think at some point, I think there was like 300, and I guess this really is where my love of movies started. But they were all there, and really the only ones I cared about were Goonies, Gremlins, Adventures in Babysitting, the Star Wars movies, Indiana Jones movies. There was one, Secret of Nim.
Oh man, that is one of my all-time favorites, dude.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, man, you weren't scared of that one? I was scared of that one when I was little.
I was. There was that kind of witchy rat or whatever. It was a little spooky.
Yeah. There was like an owl too, like a crazy owl, and then they ran over, or they had to worry about the tractor all the time. The tractor cutting the field.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
And like Labyrinth was pretty freaky for kids, Those puppets were messed up, man.
Yeah. I never got into Labyrinth. I don't know. I think David Bowie's costume, just kind of freaked me out.
Right.
It was odd.
It was very
odd. The magic dance, man. But what's funny, because I watched it later and people were like, "What? You don't know this movie?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm not really feeling it right now. I don't know. I understand why you felt it as a child, but like that and Never Ending Story, I never got into. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry, everyone. Did y'all love Never Ending Story and
oh yes,
I like Never Ending Story. I watched Labyrinth a lot as a child. I think it was like one of the only VHSs I had for a while. Yeah. So I watched it a bunch, but I don't think it holds up too good. I tried watching it like a few years back.
Never Ending Story is pretty bad.
And what's like Tom Cruise and a unicorn or something too?
That's Legend.
Legend.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah. That's one of my brothers. My brother is 4 years older than me. My oldest brother is 6. So they were into that. Willow was one that I got into.
Willow.
There you go, Willow. That was a good one. Did you know they're bringing it back as a series on Disney Plus?
I heard that was a scene. Yeah. I'd love to be on that show.
Yeah, right? Really.
Come on.
So, do you have anything you're working on now that you can talk about, like as far as acting wise, or anything coming out?
Yeah, I got a few things actually. I have a small scene in a movie called They Cloned Tyrone. I'm like, what was that movie's name? I just did an ADR for it last week because it's been in post production for a little while, but I went in to see a little bit of a scene that I did, and that'll be funny. It's They Cloned Tyrone. It's a Netflix movie that'll be out, I guess, in the fall, and that's Jamie Foxx and
cool.
John Boyega and David Allen Greer is in it. It should be cool. Oh yeah, I got to meet him. That was
in living color, man.
Yeah, it was cool meeting him. I was like, hey man, anyone ever tell you they loved your part in Jumanji? And he's like, and he was like, yes, actually, white guys tell me they love my stuff in Jumanji. Black folks tell me they love my stuff in Living Color. And I'm like, yeah, but I also love that. I also love that.
Right. I love the Living Color.
Yeah. Right. So that's coming out. I did a movie called Brothers that I'm doing ADR for later this week, and that'll also be out in the fall. That's Josh Brolin, Glenn Close, and Peter Dinklage. Yeah, it'll be pretty cool.
So is that a comedy or?
It's a comedy. Yeah, it's Sam Barbacow who did he did Palm Springs. If anybody has seen that movie.
Yeah, that was on Amazon or Hulu. Yeah,
it's on Hulu right now. Yeah, I got Hulu for that very reason because I hadn't seen it and I wanted to see it before I worked this movie. He's like younger than me and my sweet guy. What else did I do? I'm going on to do a movie or a TV show called Manhunt. But it's not the Manhunt that was on Discovery about the Unabomber or the Olympic bomber. But it's based on a book called Manhunt. Which is Manhunt, the plot to assassinate Lincoln. Sorry, I just got this news update about. Yeah, it should be pretty cool. And then let's see. I got some other shit coming out. I don't know. I did a pilot that may go or not. I don't know. Yeah, there's just there's a lot of stuff coming out.
Right.
That's good news.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That is amazing.
Thank you. I'm trying to think. There's bound to be something else. There's something that oh no, I did Renfield. Yeah, so Renfield is Nick Cage playing Dracula, and then his assistant Renfield is played by Nick Holt, and Ben Schwartz is in it, and a couple other folks. Aquafina.
Oh, okay, yeah,
cool.
Yeah, nice. It should be cool.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. Chris McKay, who did Tomorrow War, is directing that one.
Oh, okay,
but it's small change. I'm playing. I'm small. I have a small role, but I'm in it. I think.
Yeah, you're in it, man. Hey.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Now, do you have like a dream role or a dream TV series or movie you want to be a part of? What's on your bucket list?
I mean, I would love to work with the Coen brothers. I've said that many times. I try to put that into the universe as much as possible.
Right.
I love their stuff. I mean, my favorite movies, you could just list Coen brothers movies and I'd be like, yeah, that's what's up. I'd watch this for the rest of my life. Right. And then Yeah, I don't know. I like good writing. I want to work on stuff that has good writing, and a lot of times you can tell that in the audition. You know, the lines come very easily, and you know the stuff is intuitive and not forced. You're not trying to like connect the dots on why would this character say this right after he said this or whatever. Yeah. So, you know, I just want to target good projects and good writing and whatever. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, before we, I know you're a busy man. Before we let you go, you'll be at the camp, right?
Yeah, I'll be there May 28th and 29th. Is what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll be down there for the, I don't know, 3rd year in a row or something. I don't know. I've done a handful of camp events, so I'll be there again.
Maybe we'll get to do a panel again, man. I always like to do y'all's panels.
Well,
that was a great panel.
Because I was worried about coming on this show and it being a Walking Dead show and having to talk about Walking Dead the whole time.
No.
Yeah.
That's what we like talking about. We want to hear. Obviously, we do want to hear about the Walking Dead, but no, we want to hear about what you guys are up to. You know what your interests are.
I think I've told pretty much every story I can tell about the Walking Dead at this point.
I know, right?
On you know, on board with Steven, so he can just, you know, fill everybody in on in this.
Right?
Yeah.
And now I know you like Goonies and all that, so that's awesome.
Oh man.
I
think they tried to. I think they shot a pilot for a Goonies series, but I don't know if it took off.
That's one of those ones I don't ever want them to touch. You know?
Nah.
I
don't know if they made a series like in the future and not like redoing it. I don't know. I'm with you. I don't think they should touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, been rumors
of course they will.
Of course they will. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, 80s Hollywood's doing a lot of 80s stuff. I've noticed. So.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Obviously with Cobra Kai which is awesome. I mean,
I love it. You watch it?
Yeah. My niece, I had to. So it's a tradition to crash at my brother's house on Christmas Eve, and my niece and nephews made me watch Cobra Kai, and it's awesome. I was, you know, I was a purist about it because I was like, no, nothing could touch the original movie, and but it's a really rad take on it, and I love that it shoots in Atlanta and shoots in Georgia, and I haven't had a chance really to. Well, I guess I won't. It's not that ship has come and gone. I guess it's over, right? Isn't it over this season?
I don't know.
I think it has another season, at least 1 or 2. They're talking.
I'm kind of like you. I went into it really. I went into it really skeptical, thinking I wasn't gonna like it, and like. It's just it's a really fun show is what I like about it. And you don't have to really think. You can shut down and watch it and have a good time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Totally.
Yeah, I always get nervous when it's reboots or long sequels, you know. But to me, I felt it does justice to the originals and actually adds to the story.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of what you hope for. Not so many of them do them justice. I watched the Matrix, the most recent Matrix movie on silent over somebody's shoulder on an airplane, and I was like, oh, I don't know. How did you guys feel about it?
I didn't like it.
I don't think a lot of people do.
I thought it was like it. Okay. I mean, it could have been a lot worse, is the way I look at it. I don't know.
Which is not great.
Yeah, that's not the way. Right? No. Well, I hate to get on
watchability.
Right. Doesn't scream fresh on Rotten Tomatoes when you're saying like that.
Yeah. Well, what about the Batman? Like, I hate to get on. Are you enjoying it? Batman. But what did y'all think about the Batman?
I haven't got to see it yet.
I loved it. Did you see it, Josh?
You hadn't seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I was nervous, Twilight, but it really was good. It has a really dark vibe to it. Kind of like a 7.
You give it about 7?
No, it has a dark vibe. Like, remember the movie 7 with Brad Pitt?
Totally.
And in Saw, it has that vibe.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's real dark, so it's good.
Yeah, I heard something it was an interview with Robert Pattinson, and I don't know. I'm very precious about my idols, and
Right.
and he was like, oh, I had two influences for this character, and one of them was Kurt Cobain. And I'm like, God damn it, you fucking no, you can't. That's just not Kurt. Like that's the last thing. That's the like if you can imagine, like Kurt Cobain was just like fucking doing backflips in his grave. Yeah, right. Like the last thing I ever wanted was the Twilight guy to. Yeah, right. And I'm sure that's okay. It like use whoever you want to use, but I think we're hearing too much from the people we watch. You know, like in this case in point, I don't know. I've probably said too much, and it ruins a lot of the illusion of like when you think someone's a badass, you know, and turns out they're actually not or whatever. I don't know. I'm conflicted about even having an Instagram anymore because I think a lot of people follow me for Walking Dead content or to see me be some piece of shit constantly, and they see a bunch of gardening videos, and I'm like, this is. I don't know. I'm ruining the illusion for you. I don't know.
Man, I'm telling you, we ain't all like that. We all. I mean, I enjoy everything you put out, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching your demo reel, your villain demo reel.
Oh, thanks, awesome. Man. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, yeah, man. we appreciate you. Yeah, we appreciate you stopping in.
Yes.
I think you might be delayed.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Appreciate your time. You're more than welcome to come anytime.
Yes.
Yeah, but thanks, buddy, and everybody. Give it up for Josh in the comments.
Appreciate it, Josh.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, we'll see you at the camp, man.
That's great.
See you at the camp, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right, I think we were losing him.
Yeah.
Was that just me, or was that?
It was on my end too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like freezing.
Yeah, it started to get laggy.
No,
that was awesome, man.
Yeah. He's such a nice guy.
Yes. He is.
I wish you could see my screen because it's still frozen and at the bottom where he's on there.
I can see him waving.
And it's waving, yeah. But man, awesome. That dude, he has for real, like I'll just be into a show, like or into a movie, and I'll be sitting there watching it, me and Monica, and all of a sudden there's Josh with like a speaking line, and you know, totally. It's like something funny too every time. It's like something you remember. It's not just like, you know, your standard featured, you know, background or anything.
Right. No, I remember when I was watching Game Night, I was like,
yeah,
you know, and I didn't know him yet. I hadn't met him yet, you know, and I was like, I know that dude. Then I saw him in I, Tonya, and then I saw, you know what I mean? He's like popping up everywhere. He's like the Where's Waldo of Atlanta movies. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's one thing I forgot to ask him was in I, Tonya, because for those of you who hadn't seen I, Tonya, first of all, it's a pretty good movie. I didn't think I would like it, but I loved it. Good. But if he's not in it long, it's really quick, but it's short. Memorable. Yeah. He's a heckler, and he's like heckling her, and it's hilarious. And I wanted to know if that was like, if any of those were
like ad-libbed or
ad-libbed by him.
Yeah, I forgot he was an Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you look at his IMDb page, it's like,
well, if you when I posted about him coming on, I was sitting there and I was doing it by memory, trying to tag everything that I knew of, and I was like, man, there's no way I won't make it. Like that's too much stuff. So I just put and more. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. At some point, you just got to put the ... You know, he's in everything.
He is.
Yeah.
And I love seeing our characters that we love so much on The Walking Dead just prosper and
right. Yeah, because also I'm the same way with even just filming in general. You know, I'm watching movies and I'm like, man, I know where that's at, or you know, I know where that's at. It's crazy.
But I would love to see him in a romantic comedy. I think he would be great.
Let me ask you this though: as the jerk in the romantic comedy, or as the romantic one?
Yeah, the actual lead.
The funny romantic one.
Yes, I think he would be awesome.
He did a movie with Zac Efron. It might have been, what was that? I never saw it, but it was like Bad Grandpa or something.
Yeah.
He was like a dude that was like, it made it look like he was gonna steal the main character's girlfriend. I think it was that movie. It was a Zac Efron comedy, and he's kind of like a romantic. He's kind of like that in that one.
Okay.
I don't know if it was on this guide reel that I shared earlier or not, but I have
Right.
to, maybe I can find it. And Dirty Grandpa, yeah, I think it was that one.
Okay.
I hadn't seen it either. Yeah, no, I hadn't seen it yet, but yeah, no, that was cool to have him on. And I think that, you know, a lot of them, or a lot of the actors, that's all they get asked about is The Walking Dead. And yes, we're a Walking Dead podcast, but I think they also enjoy when we ask, and the comments too, you guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? You guys ask stuff that wasn't necessarily, because I'm sure they like the breath of fresh air every now and then.
Right. Yeah, I mean, just like Carrie, you know, talking about her mental health awareness. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know, yeah, she's a big part of the show, but they do have, you know, lives outside The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Speaking of lives outside The Walking Dead, what are y'all thinking about all this Carol stuff?
Somebody said that she was staying because of her father, like he was ill or something.
Oh no,
family reason.
I mean, is it even the fans' place to even ask?
Oh, from that standpoint, no, absolutely not.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, it could have been a factor of things, and people it drives me crazy that this fandom's gotten so big, you know, people just assume stuff and run with it, and before you know it's fact. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I may have, as a fan, gotten upset on something, but not to the point where I'm gonna tweet something to the actor. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
So do I have the story right? Is it because they think that Norman Reedus wanted to film Ride in Paris, or
that's the rumors I'm hearing?
Yeah, it's rumors,
and that's why they're filming The Walking Dead there. I don't think that's true. I think if they were filming there, they wanted to film there for a French aesthetic, or I mean, otherwise, I mean, he's worked on. Wasn't he in Germany once or something? And he was also filming in Sonoya or for Ride, or he just worked around it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he went somewhere like that before. I'm not sure, but either way, they could work around that. That wasn't. I don't think that had anything to do with it.
Well, I wouldn't think that Norman would want to do it without Melissa. Like, I think he would try his best to get her there with him. So I don't think he really has a say.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I was just saying the rumors the accusations I've heard are that, and I mean, I don't agree with them at all, but I'm just saying that they're saying that he wanted to film Ride there. So that's why AMC moved their spinoff there. But that's not really how it works, man. Like,
didn't Angela Kang leave the show?
She did. She left the showrunner, and I think
when did that happen?
Like the other day.
Oh,
like right after all this.
I stayed off social media this weekend.
And there's I want to say there was a showrunner from ER that took over.
His name David or something. I don't know.
I forget his name, but yeah. So
maybe I'll say it in the comments. Yeah, it was
right, because it sounds like since that wasn't going to take off, she's just going to focus on other AMC shows.
She probably.
Jennifer's got a good question. I was thinking this too. How are they going to do a story with them in Europe after they've always been in the States? Like, how are they going to get to Europe?
Get there.
Yeah, how do you get there? A boat?
Yeah, and that's like another thing that keeps kind of circulating my mind, because if they're planning on doing something like having them go somewhere that looks French, like New Orleans or Savannah or a town like that, you would think they would just go. I don't know. It's kind of confusing. I agree.
It is.
Like, how did they?
Because I thought about that with the whole fast zombie thing. I'm like, you know, the little after scene from World Beyond.
I mean, because do you think I still don't think that any society in this world is at a point to where they have
cross the Atlantic
transportation across the ocean.
I agree.
like what, for 10 years we've been going around in the same circle, and then all of a sudden, bam, we're in Europe.
Right, we're gonna try to cross the Atlantic. Yeah, and
you just stand in one spot and let the Earth spin.
Right. Well, how are the fast zombies gonna get here? You know,
Barbara said a helicopter, but a helicopter won't make that. Yeah,
go that far. Yeah,
no, it wouldn't even make it. It wouldn't make it.
I think, are the zombies so fast they could just run over the water?
Well, did you see in the new trailer they were saying? I think PT broke it down where they said that some of the zombies, the new ones, might be in this part C.
Oh.
I mean, that would make sense.
It looked like one of them tried to.
Barbara said that was a joke. I'm sorry, Barbara.
Okay. Barbara's like, shut up.
It looked like somebody pulled, like they were trying to pull a mask off, like a whisper. They thought it was a whisper, and it was a walker. So maybe the walker did something that they didn't do, and they thought it was a whisper.
Right. And Maria's, they do have planes in Fear, so Maria could be onto something there.
Planes that work. Oh yeah. It says that,
Fear, yeah.
How big of a plane is it though? How big of a boy is it?
It was.
I wouldn't be riding no plane.
I wouldn't do it, but I mean, it was like a small prop plane.
Yeah,
those.
I don't know about getting overseas in one of those.
I personally wouldn't do it. I'll take my chances on the ground. Yeah.
And why would they even want to go either? Like
right.
In this world, that would be the last thing on my mind, was getting to the other side of the world. Unless, I don't know. Wasn't there something in Beyond that mentioned?
Yeah, the fast zombies.
Well, did it mention France too? Or something?
It did at the end of that credit.
Yeah, it was over. It was over in Europe somewhere.
But to me, like, why would Daryl leave Judith and RJ?
Right.
So now he's gonna be leaving Carol too.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I think it needs to be the Daryl and Mercer show, man.
The Daryl Mercer and Dog show.
There you go.
Rick's in Europe. That's why he's going.
Rick ain't coming back, Don.
Yes, he is.
Don't say that.
I'll cry.
Oh, he's gonna go find Rick. Barb says maybe he's gonna go look for Rick.
Yeah, I say he's gonna go find Rick.
Well, how the hell did Rick get over there?
I don't know.
Helicopter.
That would be an easy way to explain why he hadn't tried to get back.
He hasn't been around, right?
Yeah.
Uber.
Because I've always said that, Rick Grimes, that's the most unbelievable part of it all to me, is that Rick Grimes, the character he's built up to us to be, would find his way back to his family and faster than he has already. But if he's overseas, he might not. They might have a cruise ship that runs once a year or something. You never know. Commonwealth cruising.
Hey, did anybody notice I had a new shirt today?
Oh, now what does it say on it?
So it says "Name to Triangles." This is Eugene's shirt.
Yeah.
And so basically, it's named to triangles, and you're supposed to name like obtuse or whatever, but it has names on it like Jeffrey. So he named the triangles.
Gotcha.
Frederick. Yeah. So this is it. I found it.
Do you have every Eugene t-shirt
that I know of?
ones that had like graphics like that? Right. I think you do.
I do. I got the I Love Virginia, or Virginia's for Lovers.
Yeah.
The barbecue, and then this one. As far as ones with graphics or whatever on it.
Yeah. I was about to say, I think that's the three big ones, man. That's cool.
Yeah. I love my t-shirts.
And did you just get that from a random site?
Like, I found it on Amazon.
Was it like, did it say anything about The Walking Dead or Eugene, or was it just
no, it was just a shirt. Because in the show, all you saw was like that.
Gotcha.
So I literally Googled "Name the Triangle" shirt, and it pops right up. It's crazy. Google can find anything.
Yeah, that's awesome. But I guess people need to chill out, man. People need to chill out if you're one of those people that are mad at anybody about anything to do with it.
Thanks, Jennifer.
But it'll be all good.
It will. It will. Yeah, I think AMC came out with like an official statement, didn't they? Like
they did. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And Jeffrey D. Morgan went to Twitter.
Yeah, he did. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
I don't mean to keep harping on it, but it reminds me of whenever McDermott was pretty much pushed off of social media.
Yeah, that was sad, man.
Yeah, and I mean, he was one of my favorite people to interact with. He was always like interactive with his fans. He always like replied to tweets. He would retweet your tweets. Even on Facebook, on his professional page, he would reply to comments.
Right. Yeah, I miss him. I need to see him at a con. I hadn't seen him in a little while.
Yeah, I was disappointed he wasn't at Pandemic. I hadn't seen him in a little while either. I guess it would have been maybe the last Walker Stalker Con, the one he was at that one, right? Yeah.
Right, I think so.
Maybe, I don't know. Cutlets was there. I'm pretty sure he was there, but
yeah, they usually have their booths side by side.
Yeah, side by side.
The Army.
So we got any other news going on, Dawn? Walking Dead related? Fear. That's what I was about to say. You watching Fear?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on Fear? Fill us in.
It's really slow.
It's really slow. No.
Don't tell us that. You're not supposed to tell us that.
That's my greatest fear.
Well, here's a spoiler alert.
Well, you're not going to talk about so you've got AMC Plus. Does it come out an hour early? I mean, not an hour, a week early too. You're not going to spoil the newest one, are you?
No, I won't say.
Okay. I mean, I don't care. I don't know if somebody in the comments might, but
it's hard for me to talk about it because I think the first time it came out 2 episodes early.
Oh.
They showed the 8 and 9, was it, before they showed the 8 or whatever?
Carol said it's so.
Carol Jameson, it's so slow.
Dang, that sucks.
Yeah, that's not cool.
They need to do something with it. We need to get Josh to come and write for Fear.
Right.
Give us a shot. If anybody in here knows AMC, give us a shot to write an episode. That'd be freaking awesome.
No doubt.
I mean, it's just they have so many great characters there, and it's like I don't know what they're doing. Like I'm hoping it ends up at a good spot, but dragging.
Oh man, hate to hear that.
But it was doing good before that, right? Like it was. So that if it's slow to you right now, that tells me that the episodes, like the seasons before that, were pretty good. Okay, because I stopped. I mean, I don't know where I'm at. What season are they on now?
6.
Is this
7,
6?
7?
7? Okay.
I may have started season 5. What about you, Casey? Did you?
I'm probably on about 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when they killed John Dory.
Oh God. Yeah. So
alert. No, I'm just kidding.
I think I got to that point. I think I may have fell out right about there.
Yeah, I'm in that area.
He was my Rick of Fear, so it was
me too.
Oh, I loved his character,
and it was just kind of like,
yeah, but you can't fault him for that. But then again, he carried a lot of the show for me there for a while. I really liked that character. I would have loved to seen him like come back to Alexandria.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, I'm with Carol. The only reason I want to watch is just to see if they eventually do tie them in.
See, what I wanted to happen, what I would have written is when they found Madison, Morgan would have brought them all back to Alexandria to find Rick and found out that Rick was gone. I just feel like, and it brought Dwight and Sherry. That's just been good writing that they all come together to battle the CRM.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's what I think too. That's one of my, that would be one of the, I don't know, it'd be a perfect ending for me to have like I always say, kind of like the Avengers Endgame moment where everybody's there at once. You know what I mean? Like from the different worlds, and they're fighting together.
And I'm waiting for them to get to Georgia too, because we're still kind of
right.
So I'm kind of waiting for the transition.
Right. Do we have a date when Tales is coming out?
It's August, but I don't know when in August. I think so far they've just. I mean, if anybody knows any different in the comments, let me know. But from what I've seen, they've just said August.
Okay.
Some.
Is it short? Do we think there's only like
it was
six episodes?
6 episodes. So that'll put us mid-September.
What'd you say, Dawn?
June. I thought they said June because it was going to be after Fear.
Oh,
okay.
Well, maybe so. I hope so.
Huh. I'm just trying to get a feel for like when this part C is coming out, you know?
You think they'll wait all the way till October?
I
don't know.
No, maybe they'll end it. Hopefully they end it. And we've said that before, and then Monica says it all the time too. Hopefully they'll end it like on, Halloween.
Right.
Or around Halloween.
Around Halloween, yeah. I don't think I don't think Halloween's on Sunday this year.
No.
If they could do it close, that'd be cool.
Because that's how it started. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, totally. I remember. Yeah. Man, I wish I had pictures, but when the show came out in 2010, so it came out October 2010?
31st, yeah.
Yeah. I was at San Diego Comic-Con in June of 2010, and so I got to see you remember I met Chris Hardwick, by the way. So this is way before Talking Dead and all that. But you remember the house where Rick, I think it's in season 1, where Rick is getting gas and he's comes on the house.
I've seen pictures of that. They had a little setup. Is that what you want to say?
Yeah, they had that house, the interior, and like the guy had shot himself on the chair. And like that. They had that set up at Comic-Con.
Did you get pictures of it?
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I wish I did have pictures of it because
I've seen them floating around. I've seen that before, and I thought, man, that looks cool.
It was very cool. That's what got me really excited about the show because I wasn't reading the comic at the time. I didn't know anything about it. So when I saw that in person, I was like, whoa, I'm watching this show.
Oh,
yeah.
This thing for Talking Dead to not have episodes after Fear, what's that tell you?
Oh,
have they always done that?
Have they?
They have said that they weren't.
I thought it was sporadic. I always thought it was sporadic.
I didn't know that.
One for the beginning, and they're just going to do one for the ending.
Oh,
but before that, they did it after every episode.
I don't know if it was every, but it was more than just 2.
Well, I wouldn't imagine that they would get good ratings from Talking Dead just about Fear, to be honest with you. I don't think they would.
I wonder if like viewership was showing, numbers.
I mean, because you'd be surprised at the people that don't hang around for Talking Dead anymore.
Right.
I mean, I still watch it when I can, but I used to watch it like religiously.
Oh, all the time. Yeah. In fact, I don't think I watched any for this season.
I don't think I have either.
World Beyond season 2 is better than Fear right now.
Whoa. Okay. That's some fighting words right there.
No, it's the truth. It was more interesting. There was a storyline there. There's information there.
Right. I hear you.
I mean, we're how are they surviving with this radiation and finding food and I don't know.
Right. Yeah, that's what makes me nervous with The Walking Dead ending, Are they gonna try to milk it or
I just think they need to start over with some characters and like from the beginning, like so we can connect with those characters.
Right. Like a new group of survivors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. In a different part of the country?
Yeah, anything like that.
Yeah.
Just see,
Well, I mean, like Casey, you've played it. They could do a whole series on Clementine,
and
she could intertwine with the characters from the show, and they could make cameos like they do in the game. How the comic book characters do.
That would be cool.
Did you watch Black Summer?
It was
it's on Netflix, right? I haven't seen that.
They have fast zombies.
Oh, okay.
And you change instantly.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a pretty good show.
I'll have to check it out. I wish Tales of the Walking Dead had a Clementine episode. You know,
I
think
know.
that would have been a perfect opportunity.
I don't know if they do or not, but I really do think that would be a great show for the future. Like they already kind of like the comics, they already had the groundwork laid because those games, you played them, right, Casey?
Yeah, some of them. I haven't played all of them.
Man, those games have a great story. You know what I mean? It's awesome. It's just as good as the comics. She, like I said, she intertwines with characters from the comics. Like she runs into Glenn in Macon, Georgia before he.
Oh, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like before he runs into the group. They stay at like Herschel's farm right before Rick and them got there.
Oh, that's cool.
And stuff like that. So I think that'd be really cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That would be neat. I don't know if they'd ever be able to film at that White House again.
No. And you would have the problem of, so you would have the problem of, Scott Wilson as well. Having to recreate that. But what if they did it animated, dude? Adult animated.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And then they could totally get away with a lot of stuff. They wouldn't have to they could, you know what I mean? They wouldn't have to try to de-age anybody or anything if they went back.
That would be cool. We'll see.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up for tonight.
Wrap it up, yeah.
We're going to, can somebody run our sponsors
and
here?
A big shout out to our sponsors, Walking Dead Tours and Events, AutoWrapsPlus.com, Water Tower Tours, Abraham's Army, The Camp, Survive the Night, Horror Nation, and Walking Dead is freaking amazing. And we'd like to thank our patrons for supporting the show. And if you would like to support the show, just go to patreon.com/thedeadtruth.
Yep. Huge shout out to Linda. She's one of our Patreon supporters.
Yeah.
Definitely helps keep the site running for this site we use to stream all this. So very thankful for her.
And I hope you guys had fun with Josh. We work hard. We're gonna
we're trying to line up some more guests. So hopefully.
And we're gonna have a booth at the camp.
Woo!
So, and the scavenger hunt will be there to pick up. So,
oh snap, we're gonna have a booth.
Yes.
Oh dang,
we're big time.
A little table set up.
Right? Yeah, that's the same thing.
Okay.
We're rocking and rolling.
And there's gonna be the list for the scavenger hunt. Hopefully, we'll have it set up Friday. So just stop by and say hi.
Yep.
There's no cost to join.
No, hey, hold up. Oh, you mean for the scavenger hunt? I was about to say
there's no cost. And then one of the prizes is they're going to be a guest on our podcast.
Oh, really? Nice. Yes. That's awesome. That's cool.
I think the first place is VIP tickets to the camp in October.
Nice.
And second place is a guest on the show, and then third place I think is admission tickets for the camp too.
Are we allowed to play?
I don't know, why not?
I want to be on the show.
Yeah, me too. And I want to, because I'll know the answers, won't I? I'll know where everything's at.
You haven't seen the list.
You haven't seen her list.
Oh,
me and Barb knows the answer.
So can you give us anything? Like, is it so it's like things you have to find, take a picture of?
Yeah, you have to get a selfie with it, right?
Be friendly, user friendly. So if somebody's handicapped, they can do it. It's not like you're going to run around. You know what I mean? And it's for everybody. Kids can do it. Adults, anybody.
That's
so
cool.
say
can
one
dogs
of the,
do it?
Who?
Dogs?
No.
Oh dang.
Maybe if the person wants to put it in a selfie.
Yeah.
But what were we saying? I'm sorry.
Hey, there's 20 items. And I'm just going to use one. This is not one of them, so don't run and take a picture. Say it's a stop sign, okay? And you have to take a selfie of yourself with the stop sign.
Right. That's a good idea.
Turn those in.
Yeah.
And whoever, it's not like a time limit. It's not who gets it first. It's everybody's name goes in a drawing when we're done, and then we're going to draw and announce.
Yep. Yeah, no, that'd be real cool.
Sounds
I'm
good.
glad it's inclusive for everyone, you know?
Because it's not fair, because some people might get to the camp Saturday, some Friday.
Right,
So
right.
we give it, like, it has to be turned in, I think, by noon on Sunday. So
Oh, okay. That's cool.
yeah, then we can announce later.
Very cool. Yeah,
So I hope everybody has fun. I hope they enjoy it. It's just for fun.
Oh no, everybody in the comments is saying it sounds epic. So
yeah.
And like I said,
I think it sounds really cool too.
Oh my God, I got to get there in 5 minutes. You don't have to do that. I don't want anybody hurting themselves or tripping over people.
Fighting.
Yes.
If you want to win, you do.
Right. One of the items is shaving Steven's beard and taking a picture.
Whoa, whoa, back up. You said this was free, right? We might have to charge a fee for that.
Right?
I actually did get it trimmed. I don't know if you can tell. It's usually down to like here.
Yep. Yep.
I got it trimmed up a little bit.
Nice. Nice.
All right, y'all. It's been fun.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Have a good week.
See y'all.
Peace.